an off-market list. And
What market?
AZ, Arizona.
Okay.
And he bought the land for like 125, and he's a builder. I mean, this is my first deal. So the comp says 1.3, and that's what he wants for off-market, but he has so much equity, and I really don't know how to go about it. I don't have 1.3 to give him cash. I don't know if it should be a Morby method. I'm meeting with the agent and the seller for the first time on Tuesday.
Okay, so Deuce, this is a great question. Everybody pay attention to this. I guarantee you're going to run into this in your business. What is Deuce not thinking of? Okay, what Deuce you're thinking of is, oh my gosh, I have a potential deal. All you're thinking about is getting this under contract. Who's the buyer for this?
I don't know. I was thinking possibly you, because I know you buying stuff in Arizona.
I would never buy a piece of dirt right now.
No, it's not dirt. The house is built. It's a house there. He bought it.
Oh, it's a house. Okay, got it.
He built the house already.
Oh, got it. I thought for some reason you said the lot. He bought the lot for like 125.
He bought the lot back in like 2004, and he's built on it. He built the house 2015, so he had the lot.
Okay, so this is a cash deal. It's full retail. He wants full retail at $1.3 million.
Kind of, yeah. He said if he puts it on the market, it'll be like 1.6.
Okay, so if he puts it on the market at 1.6, he's right. He'll end up getting like 1.3. Okay, so if you get it under contract, who do you think is the buyer for a $1.6 million property or $1.3 million property?
Somebody who's looking for an Airbnb. I mean, has a full guest house.
Okay, so do you know what the cash flow is on it?
I do not. I haven't spoke to the seller yet. I just don't
who cares what the seller has to say? The seller's not going to tell you what the cash flow is. This is what I'm trying to get to. What is the exit strategy on this deal? Guys, pay attention to this and write this down. Do not ever get a house or land or anything under contract if you don't know what the exit strategy is. Because what you're going to do, Deuce, is you're going to go get a contract, and then next thing you know, you're going to be sitting there going, oh my gosh, like what do I do with this? I thought I could find a buyer. I know this is an Airbnb. How do you know it's an Airbnb?
Airbnbs is just kind of what I'm gearing towards.
It sounds like an Airbnb, but here's what I want you to do. Samir says it right here. Exit is more important than entry, in my opinion. So what we're saying is that you need to know the exit strategy before you go and figure out the entry. Okay, this is the number one thing wholesalers do incorrectly, is they go get a house under contract without knowing what the buyer is going to make. So Deuce, let's say that I came to you and I go, hey man, I'm looking for a deal. And you go, yeah, I just got a deal under contract, $1.3 million. And I go, oh, okay, cool. Send it over to me. I'll go, what do you think is my cash flow? What can I do with this property?
I need to know those answers before I send it to you, huh?
Yeah. Do you know it's a deal if you haven't done that? Okay. So there's a really good, look in the side chat. I think you're on your phone right now, right?
No, I'm on a computer.
Okay. Look in the side chat. Darren Talcott gave you a link. Data.rabu.com is a great Airbnb analysis tool. It basically shows you what the house could bring in. Can you put the address in the side chat real quick?
To you privately or to everybody?
Privately.
Okay.
You don't have it under contract, so let's do it privately. You guys need to know your exit strategy before you get sellers under contract. Okay. And if the end buyer is a homeowner, well, there's no way for you to make money in that situation. It's not a fix and flip. We already know that. So if you're going to pay full retail for something, you either A, need to get it under creative finance and buy it yourself, or B, you need to know what its ability to cash flow is. And then you need to talk to other people that own Airbnbs in that area. So Deuce, when's your appointment?
Tuesday.
Okay. Tomorrow you have homework. Ooh, it's in Chandler.
Yeah, I used to live in that area, so I know it's a good area, but it's
Dude,
deep.
maybe I'll buy it and just move there.
Yeah, they're building a casino right behind it.
How many bedrooms? You know?
I think it's 5'4" with a 1,000-foot guest home. I just don't want to mess up the appointment. It's my first time. I don't have to obviously give an offer or anything, but I just want to make sure I'm talking about the right stuff to move this forward.
Okay, so Deuce, let's just imagine you're the buyer.
Okay.
What are you going to do with the property and how are you going to make money on it?
I would turn it into Airbnb.
Okay, so how much is your loan going to be?
Well,
you don't know that, so you got to do the homework. Every time you walk into an appointment, you need to pretend like you're the buyer. Okay, I'm the buyer. I'm going to figure out what my loan's going to be. You go to bankrate.com and say, if I bought this for $1.3 million, I'm pretending you're the buyer. I'm not saying you are the buyer. I'm going to get a loan for $1 million. I got to put 30% down, 300 grand roughly. So my loan payment's going to be $7,000 a month. Well, damn, that means that I got to go figure out how much is this going to bring in. So then I go to AirDNA or I go to Munif. There's Munif right there. He'll help you underwrite it. Or you go to that link that Darren Talcott gave you and you figure out, could it bring in money? Deuce, let's say that the AirDNA or somebody tells you that that thing could bring in $30,000 a month, every single month on Airbnb. Do you think that's a deal? No, that's a deal. What did we just say? We said $7,000. Your payment to your loan is $7,000 a month. But let's say that AirDNA says you can bring in $30,000 $30,000 a month.
Oh yeah, that's a deal. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a deal. Guys, can I tell you something? No smart buyer buys anything with cash. Listen to this. No smart buyer buys anything with cash. So if you guys think your buyers are going to come in with $1.3 million in cash, that does not happen. They're all leveraging, they're all getting loans. Everybody's getting loans to buy properties. So you have to assume that your buyer is going to have a loan. So you have a loan. Your loan, let's say hypothetically, is $7,000 a month. All right, cool. I got a loan paying $7,000 a month. I go to AirDNA or Munif's calculator and I find out that property can bring in $30,000 a month. Does that sound like a good deal for me to have a $23,000 monthly spread in my pocket every month?
Yes.
Okay. So you take out management, you take out utilities, you take out CapEx, which is capital expenditures, which means, monthly repairs and improvements. And I probably end up netting on that $23,000 spread. I probably end up netting something like $16,000 to $18,000 a month in my pocket. Does that sound like a good deal?
Yes.
Hell yeah, all day long. What if I go to Bankrate and that house says for $1.3 million, my loan is $7,000 a month. And then I go to AirDNA and I find out that the most I can bring in on that property is $5,000 a month. Is that a deal?
Absolutely not.
It's not a deal. So this is why we always start with the exit strategy in mind before we go and negotiate with a seller.